In yesterday's episode, we got abducted by aliens. They brought us to their mothership and performed some sort of awkward experiments on us. We managed to escape our holding cell with the help of Soma, a mercenary imprisoned with us, and a little girl in a nearby cell named Sally. Together, we fought our way through the steamworks until Sally led us to the engineering core. Here we discovered that the aliens had blocked our way to the top of the ship. Sally's backup plan is to wake up a spaceman frozen in cryogenic sleep so that he can go outside the spaceship and reactivate the teleporter, which will allow us to get to the top of the ship. She led us to a room filled with 4 cryogenic freezing pods. However, all 4 pods are connected to the same switch. So in order to unfreeze the astronaut, we have to unfreeze everybody. To do so, we punch the stasis control button. The pod doors slide aside and their occupants thaw out. Now, before thawing all of them, we discovered audio messages next to each one. We can listen to these first before talking with each occupant. Going clockwise around this room, the first we find is Alien Captive Recorded Log number 7, next to this guy in a fancy outfit. Now, he speaks Japanese, and the in-game subtitles are also in Japanese. Now, my character doesn't speak Japanese, so she's not going to understand what this guy is saying. But thankfully, Bethesda provided handy translations in the Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition strategy guide, so I've transcribed them here as subtitles for you. After thawing him, we learn that his name is Toshiro Keigo, but we find it hard to talk with him. Hey, are you okay? What? What are you saying? Calm down. We're trying to escape. Can you help us? Oh, great. You don't speak English? This is gonna be a waste of time. Yeah, I'm not getting a single word here. I'm sorry, but I can't understand you. Sounds like this poor guy got his sword taken from him after he was abducted. We don't learn much more about this fellow, but the Fallout 3 strategy guide tells us that he was abducted during the Azuki Momoyama period, which was between 1568 and 1603. That means that his abduction greatly breaks the Fallout divergence and makes him the oldest character we find in the entire Fallout universe. As of 2277, Toshiro would at least be 715 years old. Next, we find a man wearing combat armor suspended in his cryopod. Next to him is recorded log number 6.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, 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 shit. Ah! Just let me go, okay? This is crazy. This is like batshit unbelievable crazy. I didn't do anything! I don't know what you want with me. Is this because of Anchorage? I swear, I didn't even want to be there, man. You gotta believe me. I didn't even want to be out in the field. I was hoping for a job in Washington, you know? What? What do you want? I don't understand. Why is this happening to me?
So this guy was an American soldier fighting for the USA during the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska. After thawing him, we learn his name is Elliot Turkonian.
What's going on? Who are all these people?
You're a prisoner, just like the rest of us.
Prisoner? Last thing I remember, I was being outside our bunker and then, oh my god!
We only find this next option if we've already played Operation Anchorage. If we have, we can say, your uniform. It looks familiar, but I can't place it.
My what? Who the hell are you? Oh my God. Wait a minute.
It's okay. We're not going to hurt you. We're friends.
What? I've never seen any of you before in my life. Last people I saw were... Oh my God! Aliens. I was taken by aliens. You! You must be the aliens trying to get into my mind. Well, that's not gonna work. Private Elliot Tekorian, U.S. Army Medic, serial number 3477809. That's all I'm telling you.
Do I look like an alien?
Ha! That doesn't mean anything.
He says the same thing if we choose the second option. So instead we can choose the first and say, I can promise you I am not an alien. In fact, I was abducted just like you.
I don't know. Maybe you assumed human form. I heard they can do that. Or you are human, but they took over your mind. We have no idea how limitless their powers are.
Fine. I'll just put you back in stasis.
No, please don't. It's horrible in there. To think I was just sitting there, frozen like that. I thought I was dead.
I promise you, all I want to do is get off this ship and get back home.
You do? Then you're telling me the truth. Those aliens took you too.
If I were with the aliens, the last thing I would have done is release you.
I suppose so. Look, all I want to do is get back home and back to the rest of my squad. Wait a minute. My men, my unit. Have you seen them?
Nope.
What if they're lost or frozen like I was? Or even dead? I'm responsible for them.
My guess is the aliens had them for a snack. Or worse.
No. I'm responsible for those men. They were my team.
I'm afraid I haven't seen them. All I've found are these people.
Oh my God. I'm responsible for them. And now they're lost. Or dead. Please, if you mean what you say, that we're all in this together, then you've got to help me find out what happened to them.
I swear, if you don't calm down, I'll stuff you back in the freezer.
No, don't do it! Don't do it! It's just that this whole situation is unbelievable. I think I need a few minutes to take a breather.
Just relax. Let me see what I can do.
Okay.
Don't worry. We are in this together, and I will help you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Sorry about all this. I just can't believe this is happening.
Now, can you tell me how you were captured by these aliens?
Well, it was getting dark. We'd spent the day out in the trenches, keeping as many of the guys alive as we could. Chinese had been pounding on us all day with artillery from these huge guns they had up on the mountains. It was really a mess. Anyway, we pitched our tents and stowed our gear to try and catch some shut-eye. I woke up suddenly to Private Dawkins screaming. He was bathed in some kind of blue light coming from the sky. All of us just froze as he just, well, vanished. We didn't know what happened. Did the Chinese come up with some new weapon? Moments later, all of us were in the blue light too. The rest, you know.
Can you tell me more about where you're from?
Me? Well, I was a medic with the 108th Infantry Battalion stationed at Anchorage, Alaska. I was with a squad of 5 other medics. Our job was to patch everyone up after the commies gunned them down. It was pretty bloody. Nothing at all like I expected when I gave up my hospital job to enlist in the Army.
What do you think the aliens want with us?
Maybe they're gonna take over the whole planet. Like, maybe they've been coming here for hundreds, no, thousands of years, waiting to hit us when we're not expecting it. And then they wipe us out and strip the planet of all its resources. I bet that's it.
We can ask him this a couple more times, and each time he gives us a different response.
Isn't it obvious? They're probably using us as guinea pigs, examining our anatomy. Once they've figured out how to make exact copies of us, they'll send those copies back down to Earth to take our places. When they've copied enough of us, they'll turn on us and take over the world. Come on! How can you not see that coming? Or maybe, just maybe, they're responsible for life on Earth. Like, they seeded the planet a really long time ago. And they've been coming back every once in a while to check on the progress. And now they've decided they don't like how it turned out. Can you imagine? They made us, and now they're pissed at us. What if this is just some horrible misunderstanding? Like, what if some radio waves got beamed into space and made it all the way to their planet? Only they didn't hear the nightly news or whatever. To them, it sounded like a declaration of war, so they decided to attack us first. Seriously, this whole thing could totally be our fault. Do you realize that?
Hey, Elliot, since you're a medic, do you think you'll be able to assist us medically if we need it?
I'd really like to, but when I woke up on this ship for the first time, all of my medical gear was gone. I saw that the aliens on this ship have some sort of viscous stuff they slather onto wounds, some kind of biological gel. Get me some of that, and I might be able to mess around with it, make some sort of adapted biogel we can use on ourselves.
Well, that's handy. We've already collected a bunch of this alien biogel. We can give it to him in stacks of 10.
Sure, here you go. They should work pretty well, but watch out for side effects.
And he'll convert them into adapted biogel. Adapted biogel looks just like alien biogel, but instead of restoring only 10 hit points, adapted biogel restores 80 hit points, and the amount it restores increases based on your medicine skill. With 100 in medicine, an adapted biogel will heal 150 hit points. However, like the alien biogel, the adapted biogel also has a 50% chance to inflict the Lone Wanderer with some random status effect. It draws from the same list of status effects that I covered in yesterday's episode. Even when the potential for a negative side effect is considered, the adapted biogel is by far one of the best healing items in the game, healing even more than a stim pack. At 100 medicine skill, the most a stim pack could ever heal is 90. If we've already talked with Toshiro, we can ask Elliot if he knows anything about him.
He looks like a Japanese samurai. Guess the aliens must have plucked him from Earth a long time ago. I can't understand a word he's saying.
Thanks, Elliot, I gotta go.
Just hurry up and find us a way off the ship before we all end up frozen again.
All of these characters will have random conversations with each other, some of which reveal a lot about their past, and others simply make these characters more human.
Hey there, little one. So, are your parents anywhere aboard this ship?
No, just me and my sister. I don't know what happened to my parents.
Your sister's up here? Have you seen her?
Well, I saw her once, when I first woke up on this ship, but I haven't seen her since.
Hey, don't worry. If she's up here, we're going to find her, okay?
Thanks, Mr. Takorian. I knew you'd help. Did you have to help a lot of people who were hurt when you were in the war?
Yeah, all the time. I was a doctor, so it was my job to try and make everyone feel better.
How come people still die then after they get hurt, even when a doctor's around?
Well, I mean, sometimes they're hurt so bad, there's nothing I can do. The human body is very hard, it's hard to fix.
So, if I get hurt, will I die?
No, don't worry. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Everything's gonna be just fine.
So, you promise to fix me if I get hurt?
Sure. Don't worry.
Next, we find recorded log number 5 next to what appears to be a cowboy in suspended animation.
Where's my wife? Where's my boy? What have you done with them? When I get free, so help me God, I'm gonna kill every last one of you. Ah! What are you doing? What the hell do you want with us?
Yeah?
Let
Need
me
something?
go!
Well, looks like Soma's back.
Just do what the girl says. Get him out of those things.
After we thaw this guy out, we learn that his name is Paulson.
Where are they? Where are the little buggers?
Paulson has the same response to all 3 of these options, so we'll say, the aliens? They're all over the place. That's why I woke you.
Aliens? That what you call them? So you woke me, huh? Who the hell are you?
I'm not a dung-kicking cowboy, that's for sure.
You got a smart mouth, kid. I like that. What I don't like is I don't know you from a hole in the wall. How do I know you ain't working with those little green bastards?
Look at me, I'm human, just like you.
Human like me, huh? And just how do I know you aren't working with the little green bastards that stuck me in that thing?
I'm trapped on the same ship you are.
Do I really look that stupid, kid? This ain't a ship. I don't hear water, and I sure as hell don't feel us rocking. So tell me another one. Besides, you don't look trapped to me. How do I know you ain't working with those little green bastards?
Look, all I want to do is work together as a team so we can get home.
The only teams I know are cattle, and they get led to the slaughter. That's why I work alone, kid.
I don't give guarantees. You want out of here? You stick with me. Period.
You got a funny way of talking, kid. But you know what? I think you're my best bet to get the hell back home.
If I were working with the aliens, why would I set you free?
You got a point there, kid. Let me out of that thing does count for something. Tell you what, I usually ride solo, but I'll stick with you for now. You try and pull anything stupid, and I'll bury you.
He ends the conversation after this, but we can always go back with him to learn more about his past.
Well, what do you want?
Tell me how you were captured by these aliens.
Doesn't matter now. Only important thing is, well, I guess it's revenge.
What do you think the aliens want with us?
Doesn't matter. They're not getting it, whatever it is.
Can you tell me more about where you're from?
Can't say as it matters, or that I'd feel like telling you anyway.
We then find two options to convince him to open up more. If we listen to his recording, we find an option to pass a speech check to say, I found this recording of you. Do you want to talk about your family?
So you know? There's not much more to say. Wasn't just me sucked up into this place. My wife and my boy, too. I can still hear them, crying out to me, begging me to save them. And there wasn't a damned thing I could do. They were everything to me, you know? So now I've got nothing. Nothing at all.
Or if we play a female lone wanderer, we can pass a Black Widow check to say, oh, come on, you can tell me just about anything. I'll understand.
Well, I appreciate that, miss. It's just that it's not easy to talk about. I lost my wife and my boy. One minute we're riding back from town. Next, we're floating in the sky. Then we're here. They're screaming and crying, and I can't do a thing to help them. Haven't seen them since. And now someone's gonna pay for it.
Thank you for telling me about what happened to you.
No sense in dwelling on it now. Let's just get out of here.
And if we've met Toshiro, we can ask Paulson for his take on the guy. What do you know about this Toshiro Kago guy?
Some sort of foreigner, obviously. Can't make out a word he's saying.
Well, thanks, Paulson. That was helpful.
So, what's your story, tough guy?
My story? Same as you. I don't know where the heck I am, and I want to go home.
No, I mean, what's your deal? Where are you from? We don't know anything about you.
Good. I aim to keep it that way. I'll work with you, but I'm not here to make friends.
Look, cowboy, we need to work together to get out of here. So like it or not, you're stuck with us. You can drop the lone gunman routine.
Just stay out of the way of my bullets when I'm shooting the aliens, and you'll do just fine.
Fine, fine, I get the message. You know, you were warmer when you were frozen.
Hey there, I don't mean to bother you and all.
Yeah? What is it? Spit it out.
Well, I just thought, we should get to know each other. I mean, after all, we're watching each other's backs, so...
Look, you do the healing, and I do the killing. Besides that, what do we have to talk about?
Well, I just thought...
Well, see? That's your problem. You thought, but you're wrong. Now, isn't there some bandages you should be making or something?
Yeah, well, glad we talked. I know I feel better. Okay.
And finally, we find recorded log number 8 next to the guy in the spacesuit.
This is incredible. I'm Colonel Hardigan of the United States Air Force. I'm sorry. What? I don't understand. Oh, speaking to this? Yes. I was saying, I'm Colonel Hardigan, United States Air Force. Our nation has been conducting manned spaceflight tests. I'm sorry. You'll have to forgive me. Frankly, we never expected to meet you all. I'm sure there's a great deal that our two species can learn from... Ow! Ow! What the hell? What is this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
But upon thawing him, we find that he's dead. Sally looks at his corpse horrified.
Oh no! That poor astronaut. Those freezers are so dangerous. Sometimes people don't wake up. I guess you better take his suit. You're going to have to go if he can't. But first, you have to get to the door to the outside. They'll be waiting for you. But you can suck out all the air and part of the ship so they won't get in your way. They have these generator things that power parts of the ship and make sure it has air. You'll have to turn some of them off. There's one in the cryolab, one in the hangar bay, and one where they make the robots, the robot assembly area. Once they're all broken, you can get through that door to the outside. And then, once you get to the top of the ship, you can turn the teleporter thing back on, and I can catch up to you. I guess it's time for me to get those doors unlocked for you now. This is fun.
Okay. All right, we just went over a lot. Okay, so the plan is we now need to don the spacesuit, go outside the ship. But before we go outside, we need to kill the aliens in our way. To kill the aliens, we need to suck the oxygen out of the rooms where they're in. And to do that, we have to destroy 3 generators, powering the oxygen pumps to those rooms. Once done, we can crawl outside to the top of the ship and turn on the teleporters. Okay, I think I got it. Thanks, Sally. So what are these generators? How do they work?
Oh, you'll know them when you see them. You push this button, and then this big thing is like, whoosh, and it comes out of the floor. And then there are these things you press down, and it goes, and then you better get out of the way. You'll see.
If we've unthawed Toshiro, we can ask Sally for her thoughts. What do you think about this Toshiro Kago guy?
I think he's from the Earth's past. There are people frozen all over the ship that the aliens grabbed wearing funny old-time clothes and stuff.
All right, thanks, Sally. I've got to go.
Don't go alone. Those generators are in scary places. Take one of the grown-ups with you.
With that, she runs off to explore, and we can loot the corpse of Colonel Hartigan. On his body, we find the spacesuit. The spacesuit is a gorgeous little suit, but it's not very practical outside space exploration. The entire suit only has a DR of 1, and despite supposedly protecting us from interstellar radiation, it has no radiation bonus. It is unique, however, in that it has 10 million HP, making it extremely unlikely that we'll ever have to repair it. However, if for some reason we do need to repair it, it can be repaired with a radiation suit or an advanced radiation suit. Since it's a quest item, it's weightless when we find it. However, after the quest, we can keep it, and at that point, it weighs 5 pounds. Lastly, we can check in with Soma. We haven't talked with her since we parted company back at the holding cells.
If you got something you want to say, spit it out.
Soma, you seem to be familiar with my gear. Do you happen to know how to repair it?
Actually, I do. I used to tinker with all sorts of junk back home. I'd be glad to take a look at what you need fixed, but it's gonna cost you some caps.
It's gonna cost me? Well, given the circumstances, doesn't that seem kind of pointless?
Maybe to you, it does. But hey, I gotta think about the future. If we get back down there and I'm broke, how am I going to survive? You know as well as I do that there are no handouts in the wasteland.
No way, Soma. This is ridiculous.
Suit yourself. Maybe you can ask one of the aliens to help you. Or when you come to your senses, you can ask me.
But she is immovable. At any time, we could come back and say, are you still insisting on charging me caps for repairs?
Yeah, so you want to take me up on it or not?
Fine, I give in. I'll pay.
All right, let me see what you have.
And it's a good thing we do because she has a repair skill of 100, allowing her to repair any weapon or armor piece we have to pristine condition, making her extremely useful. Over the course of this DLC, I had to fully repair my broken suit of Winterized T-51 power armor from Operation Anchorage 3 times. That's how hard these doggone aliens hit. Hey Soma, tell me how you were captured by the aliens.
Not much to tell. I heard that radio signal, thought I'd check it out. Thought maybe I could pull some scrap from whatever was sending the signal. Got a little more than I bargained for.
What do you think the aliens want with us?
Hell if I know. I don't plan on starting a conversation to ask, you know?
Can you tell me more about where you're from?
Does it really matter? I mean, we're fighting to stay alive here. Whatever I did before we got to this point doesn't mean a whole lot right now.
If we've met Toshiro, we can ask her about him. What do you know about this Toshiro Keigo guy?
No idea what his deal is. Sounds like that gibberish you can pick up on the radio in some parts of the wasteland.
This last bit tells us that she's from the capital wasteland just like us. She's likely referring to the pre-war Chinese communist radio propaganda broadcasts emanating from the Mama Dolce factory, which I covered here. And if so, then she of course is wrong, because Toshiro Keigo is Japanese, not Chinese.
Hey, Soma, can you tell me how it all ends up? You know, what happens down there?
I don't know. All I heard was that one side or the other started dropping bombs, and it just all went to shit.
So they don't know who started it or who won?
You don't get it because you've never been down there. It's all gone, Tikorian. Doesn't matter who won or who started it.
Then I don't really have anything to go back to, do I? I mean, my family's gone. My friends are gone. Everything I knew is gone.
Sorry. You'll just have to learn to deal with it like the rest of us. Hey, sweetie, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure. What did you want?
You seem like you know your way around this ship. Have you been looking for something?
Yeah, my sister. I think she's on the ship somewhere.
Your sister? How do you know that?
We were together when the aliens took us from home. I saw her on the table next to mine when I woke up on the ship.
Well then, I'll help you keep an eye out for her, okay?
Aw, thanks, Soma. You're the best.
This ship is huge. How did they build something this big?
Now, as always, we can at any time pull out a gun and simply kill everybody. But this is boring. We miss out on so many unique experiences by killing everybody. So of course I did not kill everybody in my own playthrough. But if we do kill them all, we get all of their gear. And I'll show you what we got. First is Paulson's outfit. Paulson's outfit is an attractive cowboy getup with a DR of 5, and it grants +1 to charisma, +10 to small guns, and +5 to speech. He also has a sheriff's hat, which grants +1 DR and +1 to perception. Then there's Toshiro Kago's samurai armor. This suit of armor has a stunning DR of 30 and grants us +10 to melee damage and 10 to melee weapons. It weighs 20 pounds. The matching samurai helmet has a DR of 5 and weighs 3 pounds. This suit of armor is one of the best suits in the game for a melee-focused build. You could try to get it without killing him by reverse pickpocketing a higher DR suit of armor onto Toshiro, but it's really difficult and we're still stealing. Next is Elliot's Winterized medic armor. This is a similar suit to the Winterized combat armor that we recall from Operation Anchorage, but it is unique. It's clean, telling us that Elliot was abducted before he saw too much combat, and there's a medic symbol on the back. The stats are a little different too. It has the same DR as a Winterized combat armor suit with a DR of 32, though it's slightly less durable, but it grants +10 to medicine. The matching Winterized medic helmet has a DR of 5. As for weapons, few of these guys carry anything interesting. Soma doesn't carry anything unique. Toshiro has no weapon, remember he's looking for his sword. Elliot just carries a typical R91 assault rifle, but Paulson carries Paulson's revolver. Paulson's revolver is a unique .44 Magnum. The unique and weird thing about Paulson's revolver is it shoots multiple projectiles at once. It shoots 9 pellets with each round. Because of this, it has a chance to score a critical hit on enemies outside of VATS 9 different times, making this a potentially devastating weapon for characters with a high critical chance and a high small gun skill. It's also unique in that it's one of the few 44 Magnums in Fallout 3 without a scope. Paulson's revolver has a base damage of 45, 5 times each projectile, 9 projectiles, 45. So in order to get this base damage, each projectile would have to hit. And its DPS is 101.3. This makes it significantly better than the scoped 44 Magnum in the base game, but not quite as good in terms of raw damage and DPS as Blackhawk, the reward we got from doing the quest Agatha's Song, which I covered in a video that you can watch here. Also, since it fires multiple projectiles, it has a much higher spread than any other 44 Magnum, with a spread of 3 compared to a spread of 0.3 with every other Magnum. That said, it is deadly in close range, effectively being a one-handed pistol shotgun. This weapon can't be reverse pickpocketed from him. He actually uses a different non-playable version while alive. This gun only spawns in his inventory when he dies. After we looted the spaceman costume, Sally walked over to the west here, crawled through a vent, and opened this door using a button inside. This room has a small store, including some alien epoxy on a shelf and a chest on the floor. After she unlocks the door, we find an option to pass a child at heart check with her to say, hey, you've been all over. Do you have any stuff hidden around somewhere?
Sure I do. I found a secret place they've never noticed. You want some of the stuff I have? Come on, I'll show you.
She leads us outside the cryo room and across the catwalk to the opposite end of the engineering core, back towards the door that leads outside that she tried to access in yesterday's episode. Then she brings us back down the stairs towards the steamworks and then ducks down to crawl through a vent. On the other side, she deactivates the force field. Do you know anything helpful about the other sections of the ship?
It's a pretty big place, and I've only seen some of it. They always catch me before I see the whole thing. I've seen the cryo lab. That's where they freeze people and cut them up and stuff. And the hangar. That has the aliens' flying ships and all the stuff they need to fly them. And the robot assembly is where they build the big metal robots they use. But the real important stuff is on the top of the ship. I've never been there.
Inside this room, we find 3 chests, each of which is filled with all sorts of alien goods. After looting this room, we do see a door to another room, but it's inaccessible at the moment. Retracing our steps, instead of turning right, we can go straight to enter the bottom level of the engineering core. However, there's nothing notable here except for 2 chests, one against the eastern wall, and then the next sitting against the southwestern wall. So, sitrep. Thankfully, the engineering core is mostly abandoned, so we have full reign of this place while we try to find these generators to destroy them. From the middle of the engineering core, if we turn north, we find the room with the window to space and the door that leads outside. Turning around and following the catwalk to the southern end, this is the room with the cryopods inside, where we woke everybody up. On the far southern end of this room, past all of the cryopods, is a door that leads to the cryo lab. We have to go here for the quest. This is where we find the first generator. This leaves 2 walls we haven't explored. Following the catwalks to the east leads to 2 doors. The first brings us to the hangar. This is where we can find the second generator that we need to destroy. To the right of this door is the cargo hold. This does not have a generator inside, but we're going to explore it anyway because we can find a lot of loot here. Also, the cargo hold leads to the research lab, where we'll find even more loot. That's it for the eastern wing of the engineering core. Crossing the catwalk to head over to the western side, we find 3 more doors. The big one in the middle leads to robotics assembly. This is where we find the 3rd and final generator to destroy. Next to this is a door to the engine room. Visiting this place is optional, but we do find unique gear in here. And finally, to the left of the robotics assembly is a teleporter to the maintenance level. This also is optional, but we'll explore it anyway to get all of the unique gear. We'll explore each and every one of these places top to bottom, front to back, in our upcoming episodes. I publish many new videos every single week, so if you want to make sure you don't miss anything, be sure to subscribe and to click click that bell notification button. I now have Ox-emojis available to YouTube sponsors. YouTube sponsors can use these emojis during the live chat of my weekly live show, Scotch and Smoke Rings, and any other live streams that I do. You can learn more by clicking the sponsorship button on my channel. I have a bunch of great shirts in my shop. The shirts come in a wide array of colors and in a variety of sizes for both men and women. You can also find my designs on a bunch of other stuff, mugs, posters, pillows, and so forth. So if interested, you can check out my shop in the description below, or you can click here. I take Sundays off, so I'm not going to have a video for you tomorrow, but never fear. I'll be back Tuesday morning with a brand new episode. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a sponsor on YouTube or a patron on Patreon. But more than anything, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you Tuesday morning, bright and early, with episode 3.